What is going on, you sexy mofos? Today we're going to talk about the Huracan Performante. And why we got to talk about the Huracan Performante? Because I just got it and I'm absolutely in love with it. So with no further ado, hit it, Pedro! Alright, in today's video we're going to talk about the Huracan Performante. And I'm really worried about one thing, and I got to be completely honest with everyone. There is nothing I can say, do, or show you that will convey how this car makes me feel, how good the car is. And not trying to overhype it, this might not be the greatest car in the world, but certainly is one of the greatest driving experiences of all time. So this makes it really hard for me to convey all of the crazy exciting stuff about the car. So what you're gonna get today is just the points that I love about the car, and hopefully that will pass the message along. But I'm telling you, it's on fucking real. Let's get started. Now let me start by explaining the car real quick to everyone that's wondering what's so special about this thing and why is everyone losing their mind about it. This is the Lamborghini Huracan. That's right, Lamborghini has two big models, which is the Huracan and then on top of it the Aventador. So they have the Aventador SV, which is the extreme track version of it. Then they have the Huracan, and now they have the Huracan Performante, which is the extreme track version of the regular Huracan. And when I say the regular Huracan feels completely like a different car, I am not making that shit up. While this might not be the greatest car in the world, because I do think that is the greatest car in the world, the McLaren 720S, I think this is like the best driving experience in the world, hands down. The way the car turns, its directions, the sound, the everything about this car is what makes it so incredible. So what's different between this and a regular Huracan? They make these cars, the track version, a lot more raw, a lot harder, a lot stiffer, but it's more geared towards people that like to drive fast. So that's what they did in this one. They added some horsepower, they took down the weight, so the horsepower went up by 30, the weight came down by 45 kilos, give or take, and then they also added Aero. And before I get to the Aero and all the stuff that they added, let me tell you all of the stuff that I love about the car and why it's so spectacular to me. Let's start with the basics, and the looks are undeniably insane in this car. Something like you've never seen before. The amount of forged carbon fiber that they use, which is that mixture of carbon fiber right here that you see on the back, is like just like the one in the watch. And I promise you this is not an ad for the watch, even though Ivan, you should roll where people can get their watch. The detail to the design is unreal at every single level. Everywhere they put it looks ridiculous. The paint, the overall design of the car, the lines that follow, how aggressive it is, how the car sits, the wheels, which by the way, they look like absolute pure shading pictures compared to how they look in real life, and the base, which is a Huracan, which is already a very extremely exciting car for the eye, just got more all around, from the exterior all the way from that delicious engine bay, covered and surrounded all by forged carbon fiber, and the gold plated on top, which is goldenish, to the interior, which just features way more Alcantara, way more carbon fiber. Oh, it makes you just want to drool, man. There's no detail that they left alone in here without making it perfect. Which takes me to my next point, the quality of the build. And I never thought I'd say that about a Lamborghini. You gotta look at these things, everything inside, from the moment you get into the seat, the carbon fiber everywhere, which normally in these Italian cars, everything feels clunky. In a regular Huracan, that is my biggest complaint. It just looks so much better and so well put together. The materials, the stitching, how everything comes together. This feels like one of the most premium cars I've ever gotten into in my life. Where McLaren was able to do that with that, Lamborghini destroyed it. There's not a single piece in here that you go like, oh well, they should have fixed that, because the car looks from A to Z, and it just feels expensive. A big part of the driving experience and what makes it so appealing, what no one can understand how to explain, is how fast and how quickly the car changes directions. So that means when you're going left to right on a corner, it doesn't feel like you went left before going to the right. It feels like you're always going straight into that corner. And because the next point, which is what I love so much about this car, is that it's so aero focused. Lamborghini didn't add a lot of vents and a lot of places where the air can cut through, whereas in other cars it's extremely violating, if you will, will, of the chassis. This is very discreet. You don't see much of that, but all of this black magic that Lamborghini put together, it's called ALA, and it's a new system that's patented by Lamborghini exclusively to make cars go faster, and it's all based on simple things, which it's one of those things that we all should have came up with at some point, which is so fucking brilliant. They made these hollow, right? So there's nothing inside but a little lever that opens or closes. So as however fast you're going, the little lever opens, closes, and whatever, and throws the air in different places. The wind gets in here and gets through here, and then depending on where you want it, it's gonna angle the little piece and give you the right amount of downforce that you need at that point. Less drag, more downforce, whatever it is that you need. That is one of the sexiest, most appealing things, because you don't understand how it makes an average driver feel like a rock star. No matter how bad you enter a corner, and this is why this car is so good, every time you get into a corner, it feels like you're doing it right. No matter how badly you did it, how badly you started, where your line starts and ends, the car corrects itself with all of that, plus all the all-wheel drive and all the madness that the car brings to the table, which is fucking ridiculous. There's no way of explaining it. You guys have to experience it. There's no body roll. There's no movement. Whenever, it's just like seeing a shark swim, and then whenever it wants to go, it just goes. It's so fucking insane. Another element that adds a lot to the experience of this car, which is one of my favorite things, is the feel of speed. In the 720S, when you accelerate and go straight and you get to 100 miles an hour, you know you're going fast and you don't have time to say holy shit. In this, the moment you step on the gas, even though it's not as quick in a straight line as the 720S, it feels like you're about to fucking explode and go into another dimension from how fast it makes you feel like you're going, because of the sound, the way it pushes, the feel of the car, and it's just glorious. It's glorious. I wish I could explain it in many other ways. Lamborghini, I don't understand how you're getting away, how you make this. How? I mean, we all know it because we have access to all these great cars and we never pretty much bring it up, which is brakes, right? These are fucking phenomenal, phenomenal brakes. It feels light, it feels agile. Whenever you slam on them before going anywhere, the car doesn't shake, it just stops straight. It's amazing. And the braking power, it's out of this world. So the brakes on this one are extra special compared to anything else that's already great out there. Top of the line brakes. And yes, because of how it looks, because of how it feels, and because of how it sounds, this is a big instigator. That's another big point. This car will make you want to go fast at any time you get in it. I know at some point I will get a ticket in this one at the very least, because I don't think anything that I've ever driven has made me want to go this fast and just have the car be nervous and ready to go at all times like this one. This is just something else, people. And last but not least, it's a completely different car from Lamborghini. A completely different experience. My biggest problem with Lamborghini has always been that they say they're gonna make these limited cars, that they're gonna be so different, and they just rebody and repackage the same shit, and they're never good. The Aventador SV is clunky as fuck. It's heavy. After 3 hard laps, the brakes completely go away and you don't have anything else to fucking stop you from destroying yourself against the wall. The understeer is fucking terrible. With this is Lamborghini's first real shot at greatness. This is one of the greatest cars of all time, period. I don't give a fuck about how any purist is gonna say that it's a manual, blah, blah, blah. This is just driving experience-wise on a whole different level, because he does deliver. He does deliver on the brakes. He does deliver on the driving. He does deliver on the sound. He does deliver on the materials. He does deliver on the looks. He does deliver on every single way, shape, or form. And now the final question, which is one of the biggest detriments to the car and one of its biggest surprises too at the same time in positives, which is, do you think after driving it that this can break the record at the ring? I'm gonna say not by the amount of seconds that he did, because they definitely had cheating tires. The car is really slow in a straight compared to a 720S, for example, but on the turns and the driver confidence that this will give you and bring to the table will absolutely be able to destroy a 918, no question. By that much, I don't think so, but I think that's so irrelevant, because no matter what time you're gonna pull, no matter where you're gonna drive it, that smile that this is gonna put on your face, nothing, no one, no number, no record, no price can take it away from you. Lamborghini, mega fucking kudos. This is one of the greatest cars of all time. I can't believe I was able to get it. I can't believe I got it and I love it this much. I feel like a little kid in a candy store and I want to drive it all the time. So guys, before I let you go, what do you think of the Performante? Do you really think it beat the 918 just like that? Or do you think it got a little help from the tires? I personally do think it got some help from the tires. The car is phenomenal. I can tell you this car is as legit as they come and then some. Thank you very much for watching, Sexy Mofos. I'll see you later.